Hello guys, just a quick video about the Airfix Vulcan because there's been a lot of talk about sink marks and misalignment and stuff like that. This isn't going to be a Vulcan part or anything. I'm just going to put this video out there. I've put out part 9 this morning. Part 10 is done. I'll put that out in the next day or so. But at the moment we're at a halt because I can't do any painting because it's too bloody hot. So anyway, here we are now. Vulcan's sat here. As you know, loads of sink marks around here, and I can see it's still stinking. So the questions that are being asked are, have I caused an issue with the misalignment? Somebody accused me of building it wrong and telling me I should have put the spars into the upper wing, not the lower wing, when instructions clearly tell you to put them in the lower wing. And there's no tabs or anything in the upper wing to fit them in anyway, so it would be difficult. James has also made a very good suggestion. Did I have a problem with the alignment of these spars, which has caused misalignment? I don't actually have any misalignment really. If I did, I wouldn't have a nice join in here that I've got on both sides. This wing is definitely shorter than this wing. If you remember, I had to put plastic shim in there to get it to get the fuselage to line up. So basically the sink marks were there during the moulding. I've been asked if they're appearing afterwards. No, that all down there, all along here. I've re-looked at Phil Flory's review, and he's got the same sink marks as I've got all along here, all down here, all down here, and you can see where they're all filled in. So yeah, basically when he comes to paint these, I think he'll see them. And as I mentioned before, he said in his review, it looks great, no sink marks, and I said the same. And crazy. But anyway, so my advice on how to build this model is to go away from the instructions. Okay, I've got the instructions sheet here underneath my book. Right. So my advice here would be to do this. Okay, build up your nose section. Okay, but don't glue it together. Don't glue this part in. Okay. Now decide which one you're going to do, if you're going to do the full Bombay or not, or whatever. Now when it comes to fitting all this together, you have to make sure all this is square. If you remember, I showed you that on the cutting mat, how you could square it all up and make sure it's all very square and get it all right. The other thing to do is assemble the lower wing first. Okay, so what they're saying is glue this to one half and then glue the other half in. Glue the wing halves together and let them go off. Okay, you could actually do this with that Bombay door in there, or the Bombay door in there dummy. If you're doing blue steel, you can do that. You do that anyway. But put that in there, tape it in place, glue the bottom wing halves together, make sure everything's solid and you're happy. Glue the upper wing halves together. Okay, just like they're showing you to do here. Glue the upper wing halves together, make sure they're all solid, and then put the top and bottom halves together and clamp them together and let them dry. So let those main seams down the spine dry while it's all clamped together. Then build up this Bombay, but build it up actually in the lower wing. So rather than doing this, gluing them onto there and that there, that and all that into there, giving you the possibility of having it all twisted or out of a line or whatever, glue all this together actually in the lower wing. So you've now got the lower wing on the bench. Okay, put it all together in the lower wing. Then clamp the upper wing on before any of this gets a chance to dry. Clamp it all together so you've got your wings now clamped together and you can see your Bombay like this. And then go around the edges of here with the glue, with your liquid glue, and leave it all clamped together so it's nice and solid. And that way then you know that none of those spars or any of that Bombay stuff is pulling anything out of line. Now I don't believe that anything I've done has caused an issue, because the issue I had with these exhausts were these parts here lining up with these parts here. Well, that's part of the same moulding, so, and that's one moulding, so it had to be something in the moulding. I had to space that one out, I had to sand material away from that one. So there's that issue there. I had issues with the tail fitting. I don't think anything I've done has caused that. But as James has said, if I've made any errors in here in the squareness of this assembly, then that will probably give me misalignment issues. But the misalignment issues I have are not massive. Now with the nose, I had to put plastic sheet card in here. If I come up close, you should be able to see it. There's white plastic card in there in the joint. My nose was smaller in diameter than the actual front of the fuselage. Okay, so what I did was just split that joint and put some 10 thou plastic card, 2 bits in each side, one each side. So I've just spread it apart, and it saves me having to do loads of sanding to get it all to fit. Okay, but as you remember, my wing, this wing, is definitely shorter than that wing. And it was also interesting when I put these, you'll see in part 10, when I put these air brakes in, I've had to shim those up and they were fine. Something's going on. Something's going on with this. It's very, very strange. But anyway, so that's my little tip, and how I would change the build sequence. If I build another one, which I may well do, I won't forget to drill the holes. In fact, I may not even bother drilling those holes, because what I've done in the end, as you will see, is I've filled the holes in that I've drilled and just glued them on. I just used that rear pin because I found the holes didn't perfectly line up, probably because I got it wrong, but to make them nice and straight, I've left it like that. So left it with no holes. So there we go. So as I say, glue the bottom wing halves together. If you want to get some extra alignment, take the Bombay door in, glue them together nice and solid, then make up the top wing, clamp them together, hold them together so they dry all nice together, then take them apart and build up this assembly inside the lower wing. So instead of doing this, okay, you would glue that to that, that to that. What's doing this? Sorry, you glue that to that, that to that, and then put it straight in the wing. And you know then you've got alignment. Okay, then you can glue that on, put that in the wing. You know then you've got alignment. You can add all these in. You could even glue it in while you're going, actually. But I would recommend gluing all this together in the wing, then clamp it all together. And if this needs to move around at all, it can move around when you clamp the top wing on. Okay, so if I do another one, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all soon with part 10. Bye for now.